And nobody wants to joke with a political heavyweight. I'm from the southern part of that country, and I have actually seen political thugs in action several times. But you know something? They are very much discreet. In northern part of Nigeria, especially in Kano, where the involvement of the political thugs is so much like well pronounced, they don't hide it. They walk about with their sticks. The difference between them and the southern political thug is that the southern political thugs uses guns. So they don't carry sticks, they don't carry all this open weapon, like they used guns. And sometimes the political class would dress them as security officials. Thugs, though. I think I have once seen one top criminal in Ijebu, dressed as a DSS official following Benga Daniel. I've seen that before. I've seen top, cultist, murderer in Egba, Abeokuta, and the environ, who became security official to Irokunle Amosun in Ogun State. They would dress them in this long black suit or jacket. Underneath it, they have their guns given to them by their political godfather. So they blend with the security, and whenever they want to disrupt anything, boom, 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 you'll be wondering why they are like, that's the difference. But that is the politics of Nigeria. Openly. So whoever can get more of that will win elections, because they need to scare people away. And if you hear that social persons, they are coming, they are brutal, they will kill you and nothing will happen. Because you probably will have experience of people they've killed, that nothing happened. That the worst case scenario is that they take them to prison, and maybe for a few years, and after that they are back for the same job, political outing or political thuggery. So you will think a professor, a former central bank governor, I've been a governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, an economist, you say, or probably like an educated man, well-traveled, well-exposed, connected, I think. Globally, somebody like that will frown at any form of violence during elections and all that. In Nigeria, you have to be violent, and you cannot be half of it. You have to be full hypocrite about it. Kill as many people as you want. Give a dog a bad name to hang it. They've done that severally. This man has done that. The last time he was clamping down on the herbalist, he blamed them for the moral decay in the states, as well as for the increase in crime in the states. And he made that a state policy. He went after a few, made noise about it, and then now I don't think he's making any noise, and the insecurity persists. Just last week, a governorship candidate of AAC in that state staged a lone protest to the government house, demanding to see solo dump, But thank God, I just remember that somebody commented on one of my video, and it was like, Mr. I was like, yeah, that means you're actually like watching my, you're going to the point that that it won't talk for. You know why? Because if I'm to address it in Yoruba, there are parts where I'm going to be saying, show more now, show get it, show understand. Because I feel like I'm actually communicating. So using my you can actually like slag me with that though. All right. Anyway, as a professor in Nigerian politics, right? Don't buy any form of their what do you call that? Don't buy any form of their posturing. They are all as dirty. They are all dirty bags or debt bags that are contributing to the rot in that contraption. You just need to probably pay attention, right? And I am very much, I'm always very much like interested, or kind of like always pointing out the part where, I say, check out on what these guys are doing, not what they are saying. Because typical Nigerian politicians want you to, they are very good. They are actors. They can act any role. If you want them to care, to cry, if you want them to act like the most compassionate person, if you want them to act like the most evil, they will do just everything. If you want them to act like a pastors that can quote Bibles, if you want them to read the whole Quran for you, they are experts. They are actors. And it is all for one thing: get as many people as possible to become so gullible enough that they become so dependent on them. Let them vacate their thinking faculties and probably like just sublet that to you and say, do it for us. I don't have to think. You can think for me. Say, where did you hear that from? Governor Mayegun said it. If Governor Mayegun said it, then it must be true. But have you ever thought about it? Like, have you done your own background check? No. Since Governor Mayegun said it, right, it must be true. That is a win-win for these criminal politicians in that contraption. They're so lucky. They don't even have to do much. Yeah, a system that produces them is the reason why you would never get anything real. And Sowore says something close to that, talking about how manipulative they are and what they have done to even coerce the supposed student community, student union of a country into politics of all right, sirs, yes, sir, money and all that, only for everybody to kind of like go back to square one. When they got the power, everybody go back to the trenches. Then they start creating content around their misery, around the problems that the criminal politicians are going to unleash on them. That's what Sowore said. And not until everybody realizes that you are all being played in this whole scheme, right? We are not getting out anytime soon. Sure.
Who are special assistant to somebody who's already a special assistant to somebody. Yes. I'm not kidding. Yes. Even all these NANS leaders, they have special advisors, special assistants. So if your ambition is to become a special assistant, you will not understand the Sowore who is wanting to become a president of a country. Because your ambition, if we help another young person who becomes president in that country, then Nigerians will be celebrating the person. But bring a vibrant young person to Nigeria, they'll be talking down on the person. Are you getting my? So there's a problem of ambition as well. That a lot of young people, and I think we discussed it before. Now that calling people young people is not a political movement. It's just a demographic. You are youth, young people. You are old people. And I've said this severally, I don't have problem with old people. I have problem with old ideas. That's just my own problem. If you are a responsible old person and you are still sharp upstairs, I trust you more than a lot of young people. People like Yaya Bello, they are young. Melai, they are young. You know, all these, even all these your NANS leaders we are talking about, I don't know young people. They are young people, but look at what they are doing. They are more interested in sustaining the rot in Nigeria than creating even a path for their own development and progress. They are young people. So that is my answer to people who are saying, oh, will it be possible for people like me to be? If you don't have an ambition to elect a sharp person, a young person, someone who is physically, mentally, and intellectually sound, there's no way the person can become president. You can joke about my numbers all you want. Oh, Sowore doesn't get more than 50,000 votes. You're lost. The people who are getting 8 million votes, look at what they are doing to you. So will it not be better for a guy who can do the job, give him 20 million votes, than be mocking him that he didn't get 20? And I tell them, these people, especially our friends on the obedience, if you have 50,000 votes or 6.5 votes, all of us are losers. We all lost together. There is no seat for the person who is third position in a Nigerian presidential election. There is not even a seat for a person who is second position. So, but you are saying it out of ignorance. Instead of you to look at it and say, look, I'm ashamed of myself that my country is not governed by a sharp person. And if you are not presenting yourself, let the best be presented. Let the best win. So at the end of the day, we are going to keep abusing ourselves on Twitter again. These idiots will win again. And we start wailing and creating content around our misery. Does that make sense? This is something we can solve. I am saying it to every one of that seated here today, that I can govern this country just using a laptop. I don't even want an office. Just give me data and a laptop. I'll be governing Nigeria. Everybody who is my minister will be doing Zoom meetings. Opari. Every evening, I'll come on my Facebook page or TikTok and tell you how much we have, how much we are spending. I'll break it down for you. Does that need an office? You don't need an office. But the Nigerian president will have all this retinue of staff, 10,000 people. They cannot get anything achieved. In fact, if they call you an advisor, they give you the position because they don't want to hear from you again. That's the meaning of special advisor.
Anything they advise.
Yes. Any special advisor that goes to the president to go and advise him has lost his job. The last person to try it is that former obedient that Akpabiole was advising them. I said, did we appoint you to come and when we gave you the position, it's because you are notorious for making once from afar. Because that's what you are appointed for. And you say you are chief economic advisor to the president. I'm telling you, what do you know about the economy? If you know about the economy, why don't you go and be president of that? Anyways, on a serious note, that's our position on if I missed your first question, what was that?
How can Nigerian youth organize?
With one word.
Sowore. Mr. President, Oma need office. I go need office. The office of the president is not the office where you just need to be doing Zoom meetings. You get? And yeah, I like the part you can come on Facebook you won't have the time to come every evening though, but you can come to Facebook like maybe every week, right? To give people updates. But he's right. You can run a country, right, very well, smoothly, without these badges, or this army of praise singers, ass leakers, all right, sirs, who are just pretty much overfed pigs, who contribute zero, but they take a lot. So he's right on the part. And he's also right that Nigerian politics is winner takes it all. He's right. There is no place for second runner-up, what do they call them? For second and third. It's a winner takes it all. And that is one spirit that keeps drowning the contraption, because a lot of people want to be the winner. The winner where you can do whatever you like, you can do fuck all. Libabs, baba. So I was probably going to say it later in the evening, but make us say it now because, maybe all of us get what is it called? Next hour is not guaranteed, you know what I mean? So make us say it now, so I won't regret. And I wanted to say happy birthday to Libabs, Ulutu Agba, Abake Bell, Kolon to ba Kotu Baba Muile Mekun, Ijebu for Kagbon Basin, Shojo Kure, Shom Ye. So every time, Baba, Teba didn't sing by Asinla New. Yeah. Ekun agbo to de mi dere. Yoruba bo ni ekun agbo to mi, iwuru agbo to mi. Ko mi ni ko ni ja. Happy birthday to you, Baba. In good health. And I really, really pray that you have that long life in very good health, because your presence is quite impactful, I have to say. From all of us in the Yoruba Union, we say happy birthday, Baba. And from all of us in the temple too, the temple of truth, we are also saying happy birthday. So Ulutuagba turned 64 yesterday. And maybe when you turn 65 or your 70th, we should actually have a, one in a lifetime party where all of us will come to Ireland. So you shall live long, Baba. God bless you. So that's Olutuagba there, labels. So if you see this video and you do know him one-on-one, that's me reminding you, please send him your love. So, Sowore, thank you. And in a situation where people can't be allowed to choose their own representatives, we shouldn't forget that too, okay? A situation, which is partly what Sowore is saying too, like Sowore is kind of like speaking in parables, not so parably, right? Because it was there saying something about except everybody come together. Sowore won't come together with just everybody. So Sowore is kind of like appealing to the general people, like all of you who possibly have your preferences, that if you want to get rid of a rotten system, why not send the smartest person? Rather than divide yourselves enough that the worst of you are those who are leading you. Is right. Akpabiole, is working with one walking stick now, right? Now, he just came back from London, where it was reported he went to have his knee operation. I don't know if they succeed yet, or he's still healing. So he returned back to Nigeria last night. And this is what he had to say.
And today we were able to work together harmoniously with members of the executive. They put together major tax reform bills, 4 of them, that would revolutionize Nigeria and enable us to diversify our economy from being a mono economy into an economy that can also depend on taxation. Before the evolution of oil, crude oil, governments, communities were run through taxes and through contributions. So Nigeria is looking at that era. So we are looking at a post-oil economy, post-gas economy. What can we do? We must exist. And so that's what the tax reform has done. And we also looked at the most vulnerable in the society, particularly people who earn below 1 million naira. Should they be paying taxes? And then we also mentioned to them the fact that if you are on a minimum wage, you don't need to pay tax. And this is part of the innovation that this administration has brought to bear. And the world was quite impressed. We also told them legislations that are in the making, such as the gender equality issue. We may not achieve gender equality, but we said gender inclusion. We want to make sure that we have more women in the parliament. And so we are trying to look at ways and means of achieving that, to ensure that next time we come to the Senate, for instance, we will not have only 3 or 4 women in the Senate. We should have more women in the Senate. And then, of course, we made sure we did not touch the seat of senators. So that means that we are tinkering with parts of the Constitution to see where and where we can include more women in the parliament without necessarily touching the current constituencies that have been created by the current Constitution. So many other amendments. And they were quite happy, at least judging from the ovation that we had. So thereafter, I proceeded to 1 or 2 countries because we are on vacation. And and today I said I can't stay too long. I miss my country. So I rushed down this morning only to see you waiting to receive me. Thank you so much. And I also noticed something. There were lots and lots of rumors. Where is the Senate president? so I said, oh, I thought people didn't love me. so I had thousands of calls from everywhere. And I kept saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. And they said, are you sure? Are you sure? One particular emir, I will mention in them, His Royal Majesty. He said, okay, if you're okay, put it on on video. No video. He said, put it on video. Let me see your face. So I did, and we started laughing. He said, okay, I'm satisfied. so I thank you so much, and I'm happy to be back. And of course, Mr. President has gone on diplomatic shuttles to try to bring more dividends of democracy to Nigeria. So it's important that I stay at home with the Vice President, if he's around, to make sure that we go forth with the service chiefs and others, so that we can tackle some of the insecurities and other issues that plague Nigeria. But I'm happy to be back. Thank you for receiving me.
Thank you.
Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú. Ó jọ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò mọ́ rárá.
Now they say it's more or less like they are mocking you. Akpabiole came to the UK for healthcare. And these are the guys who are bragging, right? That they built hospital, they built stadium, they built blah, 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 blah. When he was governor. How can you be governor of a state for 8 years? And there is no single hospital in the entire state standard enough to actually take care of you or any member of your family. And yet you walk about with this pride of, I am happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. Be back from where? From medical vacation. Shameless lot. But it's not their fault, oh. Their supporters will be asking you, if now you go, won't you go abroad to go and treat yourself? If now you go, do you not know that he has his own money before? Do you think he's using the money of Nigeria? He's a rich man. He can go anywhere in the world to get medical care. That's not the point. That is not the point. The point is that someone became governor, spent 8 whole years, and there is not a single hospital in his own entire state, not any part of the state, that could actually really take care of his knee problems, knee or health. And you're not really kind of like sad that that's the reality of that contraption. I have had people already who are saying, they cannot, do you know that some of these people, they hate them. So you want them to use Nigeria hospital so that the doctors will now just kill them. Say, God, I want to down beg you. Make you just tell me. Sometimes I'm always like that. Sometimes, say, God, what exactly did I do in my first coming that prompted you that you will now punish me and send me to this place with these animals? People that give excuses for their own criminal leaders. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I don't think I've ever seen anything close to it in my life. Ever. Your whole country, poor people, poor man Peking, is on social media explaining to the fellow poor man Peking that he should keep quiet for complaining that there is no working health care in the country governed by these strokes, and those who did all of that are receiving health care outside Nigeria. The poor man Peking is telling another poor man Peking to shut up. That the hospitals they built, the doctors they trained and hired will kill them in Nigeria hospitals because they hate them. Only luck gone. Those criminals in that contraption. Only luck budget. They don't even have to do much. They don't have to do much. You know? Their victims are willing to tell you why what they have done is the best. You know? At least this one was once like this. So
I will give you an instance of the point I'm trying to buttress. You have Rishi Sunak was in India. He was billed to meet Prime Minister Modi, but because that day was arranged for Modi to meet with Joe Biden, even though he made effort to meet the man, he could not. He had to meet him the next day. That's diplomatic protocol. And as far as we know, there was no plan for President Biden to meet with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the G20. So when they met, they shook hands. It was just the shaking of hands after they visited one of the Hindu sites or whatever. So there was no side. The point I'm trying to make is that the media machine of the president is projecting itself as awful and even worse than the previous administration. Because in the previous administration, they will give the information as it were, but they are not forceful in making the argument. In this one, they are forceful in the communication of misinformation, forceful in their misleading of the Nigerian people. And you often hear them say, we try as much as possible to be honest with Nigeria. It's not a big deal to meet this president, but don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Don't make it seem like photo ops and shaking of hands will amount to foreign investments as they are trying to project. By next week, when the